The execution was broadcast across the colony, a silent reminder of the Empire's power. The people watched, terrified but obedient, knowing any show of defiance would mean their own deaths. The old man had no trial, no real charges, just a predetermined fate. His crime was existing as a relic of resistance, a symbol the Empire wanted erased. The officer overseeing the execution barely glanced at him. To the Empire, he was nothing. A forgotten soldier of a lost war. His final words were dismissed as the bitter ramblings of a defeated old man. The plasma blade struck, and his body crumpled to the ground, lifeless. The executioner turned away without a second thought. The broadcast ended, and the streets returned to their hollow, forced normalcy. No one spoke of what they had seen. They couldn't afford to. The Empire's enforcers watched everything. Dissent was met with swift, brutal punishment. In the cold silence of space, far beyond the colony's reach, the message arrived. It carried no elaborate details, no unnecessary words. Just the facts. The old man was dead. Executed by order of the Galactic Empire. The receiver of the message read it once. Then once more. He was a soldier, but not just any soldier. He commanded the Phantoms, humanity's most elite and feared special forces unit. A name spoken only in hushed whispers among the Empire's ranks. A ghost story used to frighten new recruits. The Empire believed the Phantoms were exaggerated myths. Boogeymen, not real threats. They were wrong. His father had been a man of war, but he had taught his son patience, discipline. Lessons that had made him into the perfect weapon. He did not rage. He did not curse. He simply processed the information. And then, with the same precision he executed every mission, he made his decision. Prep the team, he said, his voice devoid of emotion. His soldiers exchanged looks but obeyed instantly. They knew what was coming. They had seen that look before. The Empire thought they had crushed a nameless old man. What they had done was light a fire they would never be able to contain. The Phantoms moved without sound, their presence undetectable by any known senses. They had no insignias, no identifying markers. Their existence was denied even within human military records. The Empire had never faced anything like them because, officially, they did not exist. Their leader had earned his reputation in the void of space, in the dead silence between battles, where a single wrong move meant death. He had led missions deep into enemy-controlled territories, dismantling entire operations without a trace. The Empire believed their technology made them untouchable. The Phantoms had proven otherwise time and time again. The Galactic Empire had resources, fleets, and numbers. The Phantoms had strategy, adaptability, and something far more dangerous, purpose. Now, that purpose had become personal. The mission was set. The target, the very officer who had ordered the execution. He would be made an example. Not for revenge, but as a message. The Empire needed to learn fear. The Phantoms never approached directly. They didn't wage open war. They infiltrated. They sabotaged. They spread doubt, paranoia. By the time their enemy realized they were under attack, it was already too late. The officer had no idea he was marked for death. He sat in his fortress-like command post, surrounded by the best security the Empire could offer. It wouldn't matter. The Phantoms had already breached the system. His guards, his defenses, even the very walls around him, compromised. One by one, his security feeds failed. Hallways went dark. Automated defenses shut down. The officer felt the first prick of unease. Then came the voices. Whispered words from unseen sources. His own commands echoed back at him, distorted and mocking. He barked orders to his subordinates, but no response came. The air grew heavy. His breathing became shallow. He wasn't alone. A single phrase appeared on his failing screens. The same last words spoken by the man he had executed. "You've made a mistake." His fate was sealed before he even reached for his weapon. The last thing he saw was a pair of human eyes, cold and unforgiving. Then, silence. The Phantoms left no bodies behind. Only the message. And the Empire had just begun to understand what it had unleashed.